For months, 3E Atlas has been the most elusive mystery in the night sky, an interstellar traveler bigger and brighter than anything humans have ever seen. Its greenish light lit up the heavens so brightly that it painted otherworldly shades of green over Earth's skies, making even the most experienced astronomers nervous. From the instant it was found, nothing about this heavenly body seemed to fall into the established parameters of cosmic performance. Its gigantic size, its mesmerizing brightness, its rhythmic emissions of energy, all cried out for explanation. But just as humanity had come to accept its existence, assuming that it was a one-time aberration traveling toward the sun, something completely unimaginable happened. Under the gaze of the world's observatories, Atlas started to change, not in catastrophic disintegration, but in a quiet, intentional splitting apart. What witnesses saw was not a comet's demise, but its replication. One massive body proceeded toward the sun on schedule, while the other changed course with clear purpose, curving its path toward Mars. The phenomenon evolved slowly, almost too imperceptibly to detect initially. Close-up photographs taken by orbiting telescopes showed a strange swelling along one edge of Atlas's bright coma, a shining bulge that refused to dissipate. At first, it was dismissed as a fleeting release of gas or dust, but the event quickly showed a profound truth. Within hours, that bulge condensed into a second shining core, separate but connected to the first. It was a breakup unlike any known cometary disruption. Typically, such crashes disperse debris haphazardly, launching dust and shreds across space in crazy loops. Atlas broke cleanly and symmetrically, as if it were a living cell that was dividing methodically, each half intact and self-contained. Both pieces had dense cores, both emitted the identical emerald color, and both beat in impeccable sync. To the scientists watching in real time, it was as if the universe itself had recoded the laws of physics in front of their eyes. There was no known natural process that could account for such accuracy. The only conclusion remaining was both stunning and disturbing: Atlas hadn't broken, it had reproduced. As the division became unmistakable, focus turned to trajectory study. Would the two fragments trace the same path, or would the second wander aimlessly through space? Within days, calculations showed a stunning revelation. The first body, still catalogued as 3E Atlas, continued its consistent trajectory toward perihelion, while the second started to deviate. The departure increased with each observation until the data proved a frightening reality: its trajectory was heading straight for Mars. This was no accident of celestial forces. The fragment had stabilized its orbit with unerring accuracy onto an intercept trajectory with the red planet. Humanity's vision of colonizing Mars was suddenly threatened with extinction. A body of Atlas size could destroy satellites, disrupt the thin atmosphere, and launch debris back towards Earth. But in the midst of fear, rumors began to spread. What if this was not destruction, but design? What if half of Atlas stayed with the sun, and half looked for something on Mars, a mission only it could complete? Even more mystifying was the unseen connection that still existed between the two. Gear from around the world detected their electromagnetic pulses flashing in perfect harmony despite their increasing distance from each other. Twin lighthouses, they blasted radiation bursts at the same intervals, as if still talking to each other over millions of kilometers. Their cohesion made sense: two disparate objects working together. Mars-orbiting satellites began soon noticing peculiar sensor interference, while the James Webb Space Telescope itself faced rhythmic interference whenever it tried to look at the area. It was as if Atlas's pieces had a single consciousness, spreading its awareness throughout space. Mankind was no longer observing a cosmic incident of destruction, but of growth. As the second piece approached Mars, fear swept through the scientific community. Its trajectory tracked directly through the paths of working rovers and satellites. Governments scrambled to reroute spacecraft, but independent astronomers started to spot something even more remarkable. The fragment's glow was shifting, flickering in intricate geometric sequences that did not appear anywhere near natural. Spirals, grids, and mathematical sequences swirled across its jade halo, looking like clocks ticking away messages instead of random light patterns. Some saw echoes of ancient symbols etched into Earth's earliest monuments. The chance that Atlas was speaking, possibly even sending a message to Mars, started taking hold of people's imaginations by the millions. If the initial fragment was the harbinger, the second appeared to be a courier. And with every hour, that one haunting question rang out louder: was Mars selected or invoked? Next, the signs of planetary response began to emerge. The Martian atmosphere, usually calm and predictable, started acting abnormally. Dust storms developed in complex spirals, their pattern too structured to be coincidental. Orbital sensors picked up short flashes of light within the upper atmosphere, corresponding to Atlas's pulses. Even Mars's puny magnetic field flared to life, radiating feebly under ultraviolet scans as if being rebooted. To the onlookers, the planet seemed as if it were responding to the call of the body hurtling in its direction, a celestial conversation in the making. And yet, for all the historical significance of this happening, official channels were deathly quiet. NASA and the other space agencies made opaque announcements of fragmentation events and orbital discrepancies, but unofficially, it leaked out of hectic simulations, infected data from the rovers, and communication outages throughout Mars operations. Most suspected that the reality was being kept hidden, not to prevent panic, but because Atlas's actions could no longer be explained naturally. As the fragment moved through the asteroid belt, its synchronization changed once more. Then the pulses no longer corresponded just to the other half of Atlas but to Mars itself. An intense, deep hum vibrated through the planet's orbiters and ground sensors. Even seismographs buried decades ago started to show rhythmic quakes, as if the planet itself was humming along to the emerald frequencies. Researchers could not account for how an incoming body a million kilometers or so away could cause such coordinated resonance. Theories abounded that Atlas was attempting to stimulate something hidden far beneath the Martian crust, or insulating the planet for change. Whatever the reason, Mars was no longer a reactive world in the cosmos. It had become a player in something grand and directed. The emerald eclipse followed. As the fragment approached Mars's orbit, it positions itself squarely between the planet and the sun. Rather than casting a shadow, it enveloped Mars in blinding green light. Hours passed as telescopes captured an otherworldly sight, the red planet radiating like a lantern, its surface glimmering with changing hexagons and spirals. When the effect passed, Mars had changed. Its surface patterns, atmospheric measurements, and seismic output no longer corresponded to known baselines. Scientists groped for words, but the evidence was certain: something on Mars had stirred. In the subsequent days, unusual patterns persisted under the planet's surface. The remaining instruments picked up rhythmic quakes beating in unison with Atlas's light. Certain readings suggested enormous subterranean voids or magnetic resonance, as if immense concealed structures started stirring. Age-old legends all over Earth took on fresh meaning, narratives of twin stars splitting in the heavens before falling upon a red world. From the Sumerians to the Mayans, long-lost civilizations had left written accounts of green fire, light serpents, and cycles of rebirth linked to the sky. Was Atlas's return part of the same celestial beat? Had humanity seen it before and simply forgotten? With the fragment moving closer and closer, Mars' tiny moons, Phobos and Deimos, started showing bizarre occurrences. Phobos's path altered slightly, and Deimos glowed dimly with green luminescence in sync with Atlas's pulse. Orbiter images returned garbled, filled with emerald static. Some thought the moons were being receivers, sending Atlas's energy throughout the Martian system. Others thought they were keys to opening up something buried deep beneath Mars's surface. And then, inexplicably, contact with several Mars probes was severed. Data feeds disappeared, and Earthbound observatories suffered simultaneous breakdowns when attempting to capture Atlas's trajectory. Radio telescopes picked up not static but organized noise, nearly musical in cadence. As if someone or something did not wish humanity to witness what was to come. At last, the impossible occurred. The very same electromagnetic pulse that had coordinated the two pieces and brought Mars to life began reverberating through space, impacting Earth herself. Initially, it was weak, a voice hidden in the hum of deep space signals. But then it became louder, coherent, and decidedly intelligent. Spectroscopic analysis confirmed repeating forms, spirals, hexagons, ratios the same as those found near Mars. It was not random. It was communication. Governments scrambled to intercept and categorize the data, while individual scientists sharing preliminary reports online saw their posts conveniently deleted. Mankind now stood before the horrifying realization that Atlas's awakening on the planet Mars was not a singular occurrence, it was spreading. It has been months since the skies pulsed with the rhythm of 3 Atlas, beating like a very alive heart. What started as a scientific wonder turned into an opening revelation. The emerald eclipse, the coordinated storms, the resonance under Mars, all indicate one unshakable fact: Atlas is not leveling. It is energizing. And now the message has come to us. It resonates through our machines, our satellites, and maybe even through the center of our own world. NASA's silence is deafening. They know the truth: Atlas is not a comet, not an asteroid, not a matter of cosmic luck. It is a process. A plan. A presence. Something old and intentional. Now, with the signals growing stronger and the emerald light starting to flicker softly in our heavens, one thing is certain: we can no longer be mere spectators. The same rhythm which stirred Mars now throbs in our midst, whispering through our devices and reverberating deep within the planet itself. The countdown has already started. And when Atlas moves again, mankind will no longer be the audience to the tale of the universe. We will be actors in an awakening that could redefine existence itself.